All right, your title for your notes is going to be rate of change. It's also known as slope. I've talked about this a lot in class, even though we haven't covered it at all. So your title is rate of change. We're going to talk about how to find rate of change or how to find slope, whether it's a positive, a negative, a zero, or undefined. Okay. Again, I've talked about that in class quite a bit, trying to get y'all prepared for this. So before we actually do this, okay, I want to actually do a problem for you on the assignment before we even take notes. So maybe that will give you a better idea of what we're looking at. Okay. So this is the assignment. It's what did the scout say after fixing the old lady's bicycle horn? So I'm going to do one of these. Okay. So we've got point A, okay, or letter A. And then we have these right here, which is an X and a Y. Okay? So I'm going to put a point on each of those, right? We've got X of 1, Y of 1. Here is the point of origin. So I've got X of 1, Y of 1, so right there. I'm going to put a dot right there. Then the next one is X of 4, Y of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, right there. So then I'm going to draw a line. Okay, I'm just going to connect those 2 points. I'll use my illustrate tool here. Okay, so that's a line, right? We can find the slope of that line, the actual slope, not just if it's positive or if it's negative or if it's 0 or if it's undefined. So first off, in class, I always talk about when you read a book, you read from left to right. Okay? So we're going to read slope the same way, from left to right. So if you would pretend for a second that that's you, and you are going to walk towards that. It's a little hill, right? So which way is that going? It is going up. So you would actually walk towards it and then walk up that hill. Okay? So that means it is a positive. If it's going up, it's a positive slope. Okay, so I'm going to put a positive there. Well, just because. Just to remind me. Positive. Alright, so now we actually have to find what that is. Okay? And it's how much it rises up to how much it runs across. Okay? Anybody that has a parent or aunt or uncle or grandpa or grandma in construction, and that's been in construction for a while, this is how we do roofs. Okay? I was in construction for a very long time. So if you imagine this is a roof, right? This is one side of the roof. Let's just say the other side's right there, right? Okay? So there is something on roofs called pitch, which is the exact same thing as slope. Okay? So pitch on a roof might be for every 12 inches of the roof, it raises up 2 inches. Okay? So maybe that is a 12-inch run and a 2-inch rise. Okay, so for 12 inches, it rises up 2. That would be a 12-2. So we can look at this and we can do rise over run. Okay, I'm going to take that other side of that roof away because we don't need that. So we're going to take this line and we're going to talk about the rise, how much it rises up, and how much it runs over. So we're basically just turning that thing into a triangle. Okay, so how far did it go up? From here to there. How far did it go up? It went up 2. Alright, and how far did it go over? From here to there. It went over 3. So that is rise over run. Rise over run. rise over run, or the change, well, we'll talk about that later. The change in y over the change in x. We'll talk about that in our notes. Okay? Rise over run. So it rose 2 and ran 3. So the pitch, or the slope, or the, I can't think of the word right now. The pitch, or the slope of that, was 2 over 3. Okay, so let's do another one, just for fun, because, you know, they're fun. And so this is on your assignment, so these are free answers, so you can come back and watch this. All right, so let's look at letter E. And let's do that. We'll do -1, +2. -1, +2. Right there. -4, +4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. We're going to connect those lines. There we go. So think about, I'll mark that up. Think about if this is you walking that direction, right? And once you got to this, wouldn't you get to here and then go down? You would go down. So that would be a negative slope. It's going down. So I'm going to write that now. That is negative. Okay, so then I'm going to do the exact same thing. How much did it rise? How much did it run? Okay, how much did this slope rise? And technically this one's falling, right? But how much did it rise? It rose 1, 2. And how much did it run side to side? 1, 2, 3. 3. So rise over run. I'm going to write that over here. Rise over run. 2, it rose 2 and ran 3. So that one is -2/3 because it's going downhill. You can have done that backwards. Okay. So let's go back to our notes, and I will try to describe them a little bit. So rate of change. Okay. All right. So here's your notes. Let me zoom out. Okay, right there. So you can pause it right there and write them if you want to, but I'm going to talk about them. So it's a rate of change, also known as slope. The rate of change equals slope. It's just a comparison of the y, meaning up and down, right, to the x, meaning side to side. Okay? That's why we did rise over run, because y rises, x runs. To find whether it's positive or negative, you would go, and it tells you this right here, you would always go from left to right, like you read a book. Okay? Or I always like to imagine that it's just a person, and that person's just going to walk. Okay? Just walk towards that direction, walk to the right. And this one is, there's a video that's called Slope Dude, and it says puff, puff, positive. So that is a positive slope. This one here is nice negative because it's going down. Okay, the one that's flat, and we had that on our assignment. Some of y'all didn't think it was a linear function, but it is because it does cross the y. This flat one right here is 0 slope. It doesn't have any slope, and it is 0 fun because, you know, well, I don't know. What are you going to do? What are you going to do on a flat surface? And then the next one that goes up and down, that is undefined. Okay, it's not even a linear function, right? Because it doesn't cross the y. Okay, so how do we find slope? So slope, which is the same thing as rate of change, equals the letter m. Okay, we're going to end up later on with m being in a equation, okay, or a function. So slope equals m. So how do you find slope? It's the change. Triangle means change. The change in y. So how much it changed over the change in x. we've already done all of this. I already did it on the assignment. Okay, it's the same thing as rise over run. Okay, I'm chewing on I have gum and beef jerky in my mouth right now, so you have to have 2 points to find slope. Okay, and I've talked about that many times in class. We've got to have 2 points to find the slope, and those 2 points are always going to end up perfectly where the vertical and the horizontal lines intersect. Okay. So here's an example right there, but I'm actually going to make up my own. Okay. Whenever we do slope, you have to simplify it. Okay, it has to be in simplest form. All right. So there is that full page again. If you need that, you can pause it right now and write that. Otherwise, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do one for you. Okay, let's see what color this is. There we go. That's fine. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put a dot there, and I'm going to put a dot there. And I'm going to connect those two. Right there. Okay? So, first, let's think. Try this. Here I am. Oh. Yeah. I'm walking that way. Okay? So, is that about to go up or down? Or is that about to be 0? Is it flat or is it undefined? It's going down, right? It's going down. So, that is a negative. Negative. So, the slope is going to be negative. So now we just have to find out how tall it is to how long it is. Okay, so how tall, it doesn't matter how you do this. If you just want to take it and turn it into a triangle, you can. That's fine. You got to have the points. Just turn it into a triangle right there. So how tall is this right here? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the run, right? How long is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 10. Okay? So our slope, it's rise over run. We know it's a negative. So how much did it rise? It rose 5. How far did it run? How long is it? It is 10. Okay? Now, like I said, you have to put that in simplest form, okay? So, isn't that just half? So that is just negative 1/2, okay? So really, slope comes down to triangles. How tall is it? How long is it? How tall is it? How long is it? Okay? All right, so let's go back to that assignment. And I'll do letter D. Hopefully not run out of time, but I'm probably going to. So we have -2, -5. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be down there. -2, -5. And +2, -3. 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, connect that right there. Then let's just turn it into a triangle. Use dotted lines, whatever you want to use. Alright, so here you are. Going that way. Positive or negative? It's positive. Very good. So, rise over run. I have written right there. How tall is it? How long is it? It's 2 tall. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4 long. 2/4. This one is 2/4, which is the same thing as 1/2. Okay, so this one is 1/2. So, take those 2 points, turn them into a triangle. How tall over how long? Okay, how tall is the triangle? How long is the triangle? Positive or negative? Use those notes. It'll get super simple for you, I promise.